All right, guys, welcome back to Frugal Homestead. So, as you can see, it's a very gloomy, rainy day here on the homestead. And it seems like we've been getting a lot of those lately. It's actually misting and sprinkling right now as we speak. But with this severe weather every spring, it seems like trees are getting decimated. And this year I've been inundated with so many calls and so many people sending me stuff about firewood. And I gotta say, it's pretty crazy what's going on. So for some reason, a lot of trees seem to be coming down here, and I'm not complaining because I'm getting offered up tons for free. Let me show you. So as you can see, the truck's still loaded, and then we've got all this all the way down here. Now I've actually split a good bit of this up we brought home and stacked it out back. But these, my friends, are cookies, which means they are under 15 inches. And these are what we are going to burn this year. Now, please let me explain, because a lot of you know that we have been burning blocks recently just for time. You know, the time it takes to get them in their low price, it makes it so I can work more and make more money. But this is kind of a different game. Because this is all tree service wood, which means they choose what they're going to cut it. And a lot of these chunks you'll see, you know, we have cut in half or quartered up just because they're so big you couldn't pick them up. Now, when they cut those big old trunks of trees like that, they generally cut them like 14 inches thick. And the reason for that is because they're easier to move. Most homeowners can't move 16-inch, 5-foot across logs. So they cut them shorter, and you're at their mercy of what they cut them at. So what has worked out well for us is we'll keep all the cookies, and then we'll set up to do sell wood with the longer stuff. And anything that is too long, I cut down, keep the cookies for us to burn in a tiny house, and then have what's left is the sell wood. Now, wood around here for a good seasoned cord of, say, like most of this is maple, would go for around $200 delivered, maybe $225. You go to some cherry and some hickory, you probably be going, I don't know, about $250 delivered. So there is room for profit, there definitely is. But it seems like every day we're getting more and more calls. Now, you cannot get it all. You need to understand that. If you're gonna do this, people are gonna call you and they're gonna have so much wood. I can tell you the current job we're working on right now out by the lake, there's probably another 10 or 15 of these truckloads I have to go get there. And I can do about 3 a day with my wife, and then we're whooped. I actually did 3 the other day because it's up on a hill and you gotta throw it down. We brought 3 loads back, and then I split the rest of the day, and I was so beat. But let's go take a walk out back. I want to show you what we have already stacked and seasoning for sale. All right, so this is the first pile of sell wood we're working on. And these are in half cords per row. Now over there, it's in third of a cord, you know, a face cord. But there is 4 cords worth of wood there. And honestly, that's just the start. So this year we have realized that we're not getting any younger, and we got a lot to do between the tiny house, the gig work, and all the rest of the things you see us do in our videos. We realize we need to spend a little more time trying to save our bodies, speed up the process, definitely try and save our backs. So we've actually invested a little bit into just that. And I've got some new cool tools to show you. And then as they progress, anything that's worthwhile, I will definitely do a full review on. So check out these awesome tools to save your back. All right, so the first thing that definitely has made my life easier is this Friskars hookaroo. Now, some people call them a pickaroo, whatever. But basically, you can sink it into the end of the log, pick it up so you're not bending over. Now, it's really not that hard to take it, toss it up in the truck, and then pull it loose. So now I don't have to bend over and actually physically put that piece of wood in there. So it really has helped for us to be able to grab it, maybe even do a choke up to put it up on the splitter. It saves your back, guys. It's worth the money, definitely worth the money. Now our next tool is the Friskars. This is the X27. All right, this is the wood splitting axe. Now this is lifetime guarantee, as long as you don't use that hammer and hammer it down with anything. So the back side of this, you can't hit it with something because that'll void the warranty. It's plastic handle, so light. Both these tools are extremely light. That literally weighs nothing. And this is extremely light. But then what I do with this is, if you look here, I split these down to smaller sizes with this after we quarter them, and then I can take the hookaroo and throw it in the truck. It really makes life a lot easier, and it doesn't cost that much. A lifetime warranty means that if anything happens, I can always return it. Now, next tool, and I would argue this has probably been the best investment. I don't know why I didn't do this a long time ago, but this is the Hallmaster tailgate mounted bed cargo unloader. It's just this, I think it's the same material that goes over the top of semi trucks. I'm not sure. I want to do a video on this, but we have to solve this fraying problem on the end. But basically what happens is you spread this mat out in the truck. I fill it full of these rounds, and then the handle mounts here, and you crank it, and the wood just comes right out and drops. Now this is all longer material, so we didn't bother to lay the mat down on this load because they tend to get stuck like this. It's just not a load that's worthwhile doing it on. But almost everything you see here has been dropped using that, and it saves time and saves your back big time. I don't have to climb up in the truck. As long as you put the mat in correctly, it brings everything out. And then when I go out back, because I fill this truck up with wood when it's split, it pulls it to the edge, I stack it. It pulls it to the edge, I stack it. It pulls it to the edge, I stack it. It saves your back so much. You're not bending over. It's funny, I go to make this video, and if you guys can hear in the background that beeping, that's the township crew out there removing down trees. More wood. Man, well, let's get back to the tools. All right, the next tools are saws. But I want to say first, about 11 years ago, I bought a Husqvarna 460 and I bought a Husqvarna 445 for my wife. Both them saws have been through the ringer. But at this moment, both those saws are in the shop. One's at one shop and one's with another mechanic friend of mine. And we are really having problems with Husqvarna getting parts right now. I don't know what's going on. I don't even want to comment on it, but I cannot be without saws. So, first of all, this little beauty belongs to my wife. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people talk crap about the MS 170, but that little saw with that little Pico chain on there, it will clobber that maple. A lot of these cross cuts were done with that saw. Now this is a saw that's pretty lightweight. It is about $200 cash to buy this saw. You can buy a 6-pack, I think, of oil and get a 2nd year warranty. So we got the 2-year warranty on it by buying the oil. I really think this is going to make a nice light duty saw for my wife as she's limbing and doing small wood. But at the same time, if you let the saw do the work with its own weight and don't push down, it'll cut these big boys. And the newest addition to the family, This is a 24-inch Holzfforma 372 XP. Now I'm going to tell you guys, this saw is not a Husqvarna clone. I don't care what they say. Now the parts are supposed to interact, so if you blow up a cylinder or piston, you're supposed to be able to use the Husqvarna parts to fix it. And while I don't doubt that, I can tell you the build quality is not Husqvarna. This plate, for example, that is plastic. Now, is there anything wrong with a plastic side cover? No. I had a yellow Poland 16-inch that me and my wife ran, and I kid you not, we ran that thing for like 10 years. Cut hundreds of cords of wood with it. So there's nothing wrong with plastic, you just have to be careful. But if I told you guys that I got the bar, 3 chains, and the power head for $300 direct from the factory over in China, what would you think? I mean, I can barely buy a Poland chainsaw for that. Now, you can see there's a lot of plastic here, but it does have the vibe technology, you know, taking some of the shake out of the saw. 60 days it took to get this thing. That's a long time to wait. Obviously, you can get them off Amazon a little sooner, but this is gonna be use it till I blow it up saw, and then we'll try and rebuild it with Husqvarna parts. I needed something a little bit bigger for milling and to bring down some big boy trees, and this is what we went with. Now the last piece I don't currently have at the house, but it is a hitch mount log holder, and it comes out past your tailgate and up and has teeth cut into it, and then you can put the log into it and it'll hold it up for you, and then you can just go down through cutting it, and then once you're done cutting it, you grab your hookaroo and hit the wood and put it up in the truck. So essentially, you could actually put the log in with the hookaroo and never bend over between bucking up the wood and putting it into the truck. And then obviously you come up, you knock it out by unrolling it out, split it, throw it back in the truck, and then stack it. So there's very little bending over in our new system. But I'll be honest, all this wood is a gift and I appreciate it, and being able to have the opportunity to make money off of it is great, but it definitely came at the wrong time. I am trying to get the new garden built. I'm trying to get the tiny house done. Whew, boys, I am working it from every angle. We are working every day. There is no days off. What we've been doing lately, because we still have to go out and dash and stuff, we've been going to getting a load or two every morning, and then going out and work or working on the farm or doing whatever we have to do, and turning right around and getting the truck emptied that night so we can go out the next day. So between the weather and everything going on, we've been very, very busy. I have some blockbuster videos getting ready to come out. We've been compiling footage. Obviously, you see we've got all kinds of stuff we've been trying out, and we're gonna be doing lots of reviews. Missy's working on a lift video at the immediate moment, so you guys can see how she makes money doing lift. Oh, so much more. Obviously, we've been doing some things at the tiny house. You're gonna see that update soon. Life's been chaos, guys, but when you're given this, if you jump on it, man, you can really make some strides. When you do the math on that, there's probably $900 worth of wood back there ready to go and sell. All right, just got to let it sit out and season a little more. Obviously, we've got a lot to process, but at the same time, we're getting our wood with these cookies for this year done. Now, with that said, I've got like 10 to 15 more loads to bring home just from this one job, and there's actually more I'm hearing about. So I don't know how far this is gonna go, but someday I'm gonna have to take a day off. But we appreciate you guys coming and checking out what's going on here on the Frugal Homestead. We don't always say we do everything perfect. A lot of people, I guarantee you, will comment on these videos and say, buy a tractor, buy a dump trailer. We're not trying to invest $20,000 to $30,000 into a piece of equipment to do firewood. Realistically, we try and do things on the cheap, but at the same time, work smarter, not harder. And with that said, I hope you guys work smarter by going down and hitting subscribe, hitting the notification bell so you see all of our upcoming videos. Give us a like if possible, and let us know in the comments what tools we should add to our arsenal to make firewood easier that are low cost. Because realistically, I think we're pretty well set up. I'll be honest. We even stole Dad's log splitter for the bigger ones to roll up. And that beauty has a little Predator motor. It's been on it for almost 10 years and still going strong. And then we've got our Husky over here. It's all set up. It's got a new side table. And I'm about to throw the 4-way wedge on. So as you can see, we are hammering out, and I hope you guys are having an amazing spring and everything's working out good for you guys too. And we will see you in the next one.